Deponent further states that on the said month of January 1847, early in the morning on a Wednesday, deponent believes the door of her and her husband's house was violently broken open by one Francis Troutman and David Giltner, who then came in the house with Mr. Dixon, the deputy sheriff, and two other men who endeavored to take this deponent, her husband, and family to trial, as they said. Deponent said she would not go to trial with them or allow her children to go, for she would die first. They offered to get a wagon to take her with her family to trial, but deponent persisted in not going if they did bring a wagon. After a good deal of conversation, Giltner sat down and cried and said if deponent would give up the children, they would not take deponent and her husband away, but leave them alone. Deponent refused, however, to give up the children, saying to Giltner that they, meaning her former owner, had the best part of her life at their service, and she intended keeping her children to take care of her in her old days. Sarah Crosswhite deposition, Chatham, Ontario, 1848.
Sparrow, I see you flying high, so small, big enough to touch the sky. I have a house with ghosts and shame. Think you could tell me who's to blame? What if you done no wrong, but you got locked up, your back is to the wall? You say, war is too expensive. There ain't no chains, 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 no chains.
It was early in the morning on a Wednesday. The door flew open and in strolled Kentucky slavery. See, it had been 4 years since my hands had held hatred, and I could taste it still and stagnant like a southern breeze ready to explode. It had been years since I had worked for the white man who stood in front of me, and he wanted us again. He wanted to entrust my husband and me to a cat of nine tails and horse bits, to stalks of corn and roofs with slits to let the weather in. But 1,456 days had taught me that I could never be enslaved again unless I let myself. And I would not let myself be a shelf for my soul to close upon, and I would not let Adam be a cave where a man had gone to hide. So when slave catcher cried when I told him no, when he sat down and cried when I told him I would not go, he thought I'd send my children from my side to console him. But we are not a hide or a purse. We are not a sin or a curse. We are a family. And he has already taken my best years from me. He has already made me go underground to be free. He has already priced our worth. He has already bondaged my children's birth. But now, since my hands have held free soil, it's heaven. And now since I've seen Adam walk through that door a free man again and again, the only wagon I'm riding in is the one Isaac is driving tonight. And the only river I'm crossing is the one on the Detroit side. You see, I am going to the promised land, since right here where I stand, all that's ever promised me is slavery.
Sparrow has got forgotten I think you could teach me how to fly. These prisons seem to house the just, and these redemption songs the dust. What if you can't go on when you got locked up, your back is to the wall, been branded, hands are tied, but the bondage is your mind. Ain't no chains, ain't no chains, ain't no chains, no chains, ain't 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 no chains. I can sit in that what I will have tomorrow. Ain't no chains, no chains, ain't no chains, ain't no chains, no chains, no chains.
Resolve that we hold our liberty dearer than we do our lives, and we will organize and prepare ourselves with the determination, live or die, sink or swim, we will never be taken back into slavery. Colored Citizens of Detroit, 1848.